My greatest struggle is finding a good time to sleep, struggling with going to school, going to work at night, 9 to 5, graveyard shift, and trying to find time to come to school in the daytime, and just trying to find sleep and supporting my boyfriend and our 2 cats while he is trying to bring home his own income and just trying to support a family, a little furry family.
Well, I appreciate the honesty in that so much. There are a lot of our students out there who are doing heroic things. Now, I know we had 2 soldiers on to start the show, but if you are taking care of business, whether that's you and a cat in a small apartment and you're going to class and you're improving your life one step at a time, hey, you're being heroic. There's a lot of people out there who aren't doing that. But the key is taking the first step. Don't wait for things to come to you. Lena Washington, thanks for hanging out with us today. You were proactive.
I would think so.
You didn't just wait for news to come to you. You didn't wait for a job talking about sports. And lest we sound ungrateful.
Yeah, I know.
Previous break.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
we get to watch things
absolutely.
And talk about them for a living. It's wonderful.
You get to be excited about somebody scoring a touchdown or making a pick or a dunk or something like that. And there are a lot more emotionally draining jobs out there. And talking sports is not necessarily one of them.
But sports is so nuanced and layered. My wife has become more invested in sports over the course of our marriage.
Sure.
And she's very invested in Charles Woodson's health right now.
Absolutely.
She's conscious of his age.
Does she have a fantasy team?
She does not.
Oh, okay.
But she has favorite players, and she's like, oh, God. Yeah, it's very cute to see. And these are real human beings that get injured, that have their job performance publicly talked about. If you can imagine working in an office, and it's like, oh, Jim is so far behind on answering emails. Let's take a look at Jim's email inbox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting, kind of the dichotomy of the way that athletes are treated by the media, and then even how the media is treated by viewers or fans as well. So it's very layered, and you have to have thick skin to be an athlete in this day and age with social media and all that. You have to have thick skin to be on TV every day, and
because people can be vicious and cruel via social media.
That is actually, lately, that's been one of my biggest fears about success, is I see the way that Michelle Beadle, Sam Ponder, Josina Anderson, the things that they get from people on social media just for taking a stand on Floyd Mayweather or anything, it's horrible. So you can't take it personal. You try not to, but it's kind of disappointing to see that that's what people really feel about certain people and all that stuff.
It is, and the level, the viciousness at which they go. This is something that I would only say about that Floyd Mayweather incident, by the way. It's horrible because women should have been allowed to comment on it because it was, women that he has his behaviors.
You would think.
But Floyd Mayweather would destroy me in a fist fight. I weigh 230 pounds. I'm over 6 feet tall. I would not have a chance in hell of remaining conscious when faced with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd should not be hitting or putting hands on anybody who is not a trained professional.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree, but
there you go.
Help me if I agree with that.
Call you crazy.
Yeah.
But you are a woman in a competitive industry, and you're not a white woman, and there's been a...
What? What?
Do you want me to take a picture?
No, you're good.
What is this business on me?
When did this happen? Yeah, that is correct.
And there has been a lot of talk in the media lately about why that's important. It's important to me because it's reality. And we should turn on the television or watch television shows and have reality depicted.
Sure. I completely agree. And it has in complete honesty, it has its advantages sometimes because you do need diversity on TV, and people look for that when they're looking for...
But wait, I'm going to put the brakes on that. It doesn't matter. You wouldn't have been hired if you didn't have the talent you have.
Sure,
That's
absolutely. Absolutely. Talent, knowledge, hard work ethic, all that stuff comes first, but it does help to have a woman on a desk or doing something to represent the female demographic or the African American population in a certain market. And I mean, I've been very blessed to be in this position because in terms of what I've heard from people who've lived in Bakersfield or Kern County their whole life, I'm the only and first female and African American female sports director in Bakersfield.
And it's wonderful, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a big deal. And folks who aren't from Bakersfield, I think they have a lot of opinions about us, but maybe you've been pleasantly surprised. I hope you have.
Yeah, I lately, just because of the amount of time I've been on the news, because I have been promoted.
And you have a problem.
I have a problem.
You are a degenerate Preps football fan.
Yeah.
And you fit in here very well on that note,
you.
sister.
Thank you.
People really care about that. That's part of your job.
That's one of the best parts of my job. I look forward to football season. It's a love-hate relationship. You don't get sleep. You have to go out in the cold and travel to maybe, hopefully, Sacramento if we have a team in a state championship game. But it's been really fun.
Now, when you going back to high school, when you were a junior in high school, did you ever think you were going to work in television for a living?
No. Well, maybe, because I was also a theater nerd. I was in drama, dance, choir, student council. I was really involved in school. I was actually voted my senior year as most likely to win an Oscar. So, because I was in all the plays. I was Elizabeth Proctor in The Crucible because,
Can we get you into a local theater performance? Your schedule wouldn't permit it, but I would love to see that.
I'll get my chops in. But maybe I've thought that I would be on TV in some kind of dancing or acting
But
arena.
you are still performing.
Still performing, but definitely did not predict myself to be in sports. But
what decisions do you think you made? Now, this is the third time we've heard this today about activities. I got to admit, I wrestled in high school, and I did student government for one semester, and then may have been told that I did not have to attend the class and would still be given credit.
Oh.
Yeah, painful.
Wow.
But do you feel that being involved helped accelerate your success?
Absolutely. I mean, just in terms of learning how to work with people and cooperate and compromise and be a leader.
But those are called soft skills in the professional world.
Yeah.
But they should be called heavy skills.
They're very important and integral when you want to become a director or producer. If you are trying to go the media route, you have to know. Or a boss.
Or a coworker.
In anything. Yeah, exactly. A good coworker. But you have to know how to make decisions. You have to know how to lay out logistics and time management and all that stuff. And high school athletics, student government, extracurriculars like that definitely teach you those skills. So I was very thankful to my high school for allowing me to participate in all that and managing with my busy schedule and allowing me to be involved in as many things as I was involved in.
And that helped you get excited into the Cronkite School.
Yes. Well, going back to the dancer thing, I actually was declared as a dance major, and I got a scholarship for the dance program at Arizona State. And it was all fun and games until about spring semester, and I realized that they were shifting the curriculum, and I did not want to go that direction. And so I thought, well,
is it like Black Swan competitive?
Not at Arizona State.
Okay.
It was more modern Martha Graham kind of stuff. So as a trained dancer, it was kind of like, if somebody's turning their hip out on arabesque, that's cool, and that's really not, because that's not what trained dancers do. So I'm not going to participate in this program anymore. No shots on the program, because I know plenty of people who have had success from that program. But from that, I was like, okay, well, I like writing, I like talking, I like being in front of people, so why not go into journalism? And so I went to the Cronkite School and never looked back. It was very demanding and very competitive. But from that, I was also on the dance team at ASU. So I was like, hey, I know not to call a defense cheer when we have the ball. So I will maybe go the sports route. And here I am.
And sports is, let's face it, it's a happier business.
It really is. I did news here as well. And I've met some really awesome people through the news side of journalism, but I've also reported some very, very heartbreaking and tragic stories, and more power to my coworkers who go out and chase those stories, but I'd rather talk about the high school football playoffs coming up on Friday.
Well, yeah, my colleague Miranda, if you're watching, we used to have a euphemism between each other, when she shared one of those horrible stories that comes in from the police department. and we would just go, tough deal, and swallow your emotions and
Yep.
stuff it down and
That's what you
say
gotta
something
do.
else meaningless and write up this awful, awful story. Instead, you work in the world of sports, and it was all possible because you got an education.
Yes, from I got an education, and thankfully it was from a very advanced and prestigious school that was right across the street from U.S. Airways Center and from ASU football, Sun Devil Stadium, and all that stuff. So I had access to a lot of different resources and people and mentors. So
And you positioned yourself and you followed through. That's the key, or one of them, to success.
Absolutely.
For the entire Success in Equity team, including Chris McCullough and Louis Amistoy, I'm Francis Mayer. Thanks for watching.